Hey, welcome back to 65 Drums. My name's Justin. Today I'm doing my review on the Roland VMH-D1s. These are headphones aimed specifically at electronic drummers. Now, when I think of Roland, I don't really think of headphones. That's not the first product category that pops into my mind. But it turns out they actually offer a whole range of them in prices from like $45 to roughly $260, including the bigger, more expensive brother to these V-Drum headphones, the RH300Vs. But aside from that V-Drum's logo, these two sets of headphones actually don't have anything else in common. That's because these new headphones are actually V-Moda headphones, a headphone company that Roland bought back in 2019. That's why these look and feel and sound so different from pretty much all the other Roland headphones they offer in their lineup. So that being said, you might be wondering why Roland is advertising these for using with electronic drums. Do these have certain features or accessories that make them superior to standard studio headphones from Audio-Technica, Sennheiser, or AKG? Or are these like, marketing fluff type things that don't really matter? That's what we're going to get into for this review. But first, today's video is brought to you by EdrumCenter.com. If you're shopping for a new electronic drum set, a used electronic drum set, or even just an extra cymbal, go check out EdrumCenter. They've got a discount code for people that watch 65 Drums down in the description below. Use that link to save some money on your next order. Okay, so let's start off the review by talking about what comes in the box. The first thing you get are two sets of headphone cables. One is 5 feet long, and the other is 10 feet long. The first one has more of like a braided cable type of feel to it, and the other one has a rubber coating on it, the longer one. It's really nice that if they ever wear out, or if you accidentally karate chop them in half, which I have done with earbuds in the past while playing drums, it doesn't matter. You don't need to break out a soldering iron. You just go buy whatever kind of cable you want off Amazon, and you can plug it right into these headphones, and you're good to go. One end of the cable is straight, and the other end has this tiny little sort of like angle to it, so you can angle it up this way, or off to the side, or off to the other side, which I think is a nice touch. I think the reason why they included two sets of headphone cables is that maybe you want to use these with your laptop. You'll probably want something that's a little bit shorter and doesn't get in your way, but with drums, you do need that longer length. The next thing in the box is a little adapter that goes from 1/8 inch over to 1/4 inch. This is pretty much standard. All studio headphones come with these in the box because you never know what you need to plug the headphones into. Also, like I said, these are V-Moda headphones, so I went to the V-Moda website and was looking around, and I saw that they sell a little cable that allows you to have a microphone attachment as well if you want to purchase that. The next thing that comes in the box is a little cable retainer. That's what Roland calls it. Essentially, you clip these to the little metal pieces on the side of your headphones, and then the cable itself goes through the middle. This allows the cable to be routed down the middle of your back instead of off to the side. That way it doesn't get in the way of your arms. It's a nice little thing to include, but to me, I found it to be a little bit gimmicky, and it made the headphones ever so slightly less convenient to put on because you have to put them on like this instead of putting them on from the back to the front. It's a little bit hard to explain, but if you ever use these, you'll see what I mean. I found myself just using the cable as is, and it worked fine for me, and I didn't have any issues. The next thing they include, which I wasn't expecting, is this little headphone holder clip. This will attach to any drum rack or any cymbal stand, and that way you have a real place to put your headphones instead of always draping it on your snare drum or your hi-hat. You have a legit place to put your headphones, which is nice. You could probably buy that off Amazon for like $5 or $8, but it's nice that they include it with the headphones, especially at this price. Every little thing makes the headphones more useful. Another accessory they include in the box is a handy carrying bag with the Roland logo on it. This gives you a little bit of added protection if you want to throw this in your backpack or in the back seat of your car and not get your headphones scratched. So maybe not quite as protective as a legit carrying case, but it will be less bulky. And the final thing to mention about what comes with the headphones are the faceplates. You can actually remove these with a little Allen wrench and then put whatever kind of custom faceplates that you want in their place. If you go to the V-Moda website, you can find them for roughly $34, I think, and you can get them whatever color you want. You can laser engrave your logo on them. Very, very useful. I like the fact that you can customize the overall design of these. I always love it when a company allows you to do that. Okay, so next up, let's talk about build quality. As you can tell by looking at these compared to most other studio headphones, you'll see that these have more of a Bluetooth headphone vibe to them. And not in a bad way. I'm just saying that these feel more like Bose headphones or Sony XM4 headphones versus Sennheiser headphones or Shure headphones or AKG headphones. They're trying to go more the stylish route and stand out and have that sort of vibe to them versus the standard, stock look of most studio headphones. What you're seeing here is mostly a combination of plastic pieces with metal and then a bunch of synthetic leather. The ear cups themselves are a memory foam. They feel very comfortable on your ear, and then there's some padding up top. It's got a nice fit on my head. Of course, it'll depend on you. Everybody has a different preference on how they want their headphones to feel, but I'm very happy with the overall durability that I'm feeling here and the construction overall. Now, one thing I need to address is that Roland is touting these as having a form of passive noise suppression. Now, I'm not talking about noise isolation that you would get electronically from Bose headphones or Sony headphones. I'm talking more the kind of isolation you get from headphones that you use to mow the lawn, but not quite to that extreme degree, because these aren't trying to clamp on your head like the Vic Firth headphones. They're supposed to take the edge off because obviously when you play electronic drums, you're hearing yourself hitting the mesh heads and the rubber cymbals. This tries to get rid of at least a little bit of that. I think it does a fine job at blocking outside sound, but it's not like going to blow your mind or anything like that. It just does a decent enough job that I understand why they decided to lean on that in the marketing. And by the way, never buy open back headphones when using with electronic drums, because they bring in all the outside noise of you hitting the drums and the cymbals. It's really freaking loud. Okay, so next up is overall sound quality. I want to be careful here to mention that I am not a headphone expert. There are other YouTube channels that know way more about headphones than me. This is just going to be my opinion as a drummer who's played a lot of electronic drums with a lot of different kinds of studio headphones, and I have my own biases and what I like to hear and what I don't like to hear. But what I'm noticing is that these headphones lean fairly heavy on the bass and feature a more muted mid-range. I'm not saying this because I have evidence in the form of a frequency response graph. I'm saying this more because I've noticed this when A/B testing this against my Sennheiser HD280 Pros and my Sony MDR 7506s. They're not in the exact same price range, obviously, but they're what I had on hand to compare. When it comes to these Roland headphones, they do sound good, but I feel like they could use some more emphasis on the mid frequencies and maybe a tad more clarity. But these headphones are fun and they do make your drums sound good. I've been enjoying using these. Just keep in mind that if you're an audiophile that wants a faithfully neutral sound profile, that's not what these headphones are trying to do. I wouldn't buy these as reference headphones while mixing an album, but I would use these to monitor drums, which is what they're meant for. And then of course, this brings us to whether or not this is worth the money. If you're looking for something that gives you the absolute best bang for your buck, the great value headphones that sound as good as possible for the least amount of dollars as possible, there are other studio headphones from Shure, from AKG, from Sennheiser and Sony that will probably get you something that sounds roughly as good for less dollars. But as a complete package, I can't deny that these are really nice. I like these. I think they're good headphones. But if you're really worried about spending as little money as possible, yeah, there are other companies out there that give you a better value per dollar. Roland doesn't make bad products most of the time. Pretty much everything they make is always good and high quality. It's just whether or not you want to spend that extra money. As I've always said, or have I ever said this? I don't know. Roland is the Apple of electronic drums. They make good stuff all the time. Just whether or not you want to spend the extra money to get their stuff is going to be on you. That's the video. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you all in the next one.